Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you, sir?
Yeah, how are you? Good morning to the jail.
Good morning. Good morning. Your Honor, we're waiting on counsel to get back in the building. We had a bit of a situation over here. If you give us just a second, and we'll do the Spanish interpreter matter first.
All good. Thank you very much. Take your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yo no hablo de español muy bien. There's a translator.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
Morning.
Morning.
So,
Good morning, Your Honor. Is this a Spanish speaker, Your Honor?
yes, I believe so. This is Mr. Coronado
Oh,
Figueroa, I believe.
Yes, the interpreter is ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Coronado Figueroa.
Good morning.
Muy buenos días, le dice el juez, señor Coronado Figueroa. Good morning, Your Honor.
Just for the record, could you please tell me your name?
Para que conste en acta, señor, ¿me puede decir su nombre?
Héctor Rafael Coronado Figueroa.
Héctor Rafael Coronado Figueroa.
All right. And sir, you've been arrested on one count that alleges that you committed aggravated assault by strangulation.
Bueno, señor, usted tiene una acusación y tiene que ver con agresión con agravantes, básicamente estrangulamiento.
And it is alleged to be an act of domestic violence.
Se presume que es un acto o un delito de violencia doméstica.
You, sir, have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer callado. Todo lo que diga puede y será utilizado en su contra.
And you have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you.
Usted tiene el derecho de ser representado en todas las diligencias judiciales de este proceso y le voy a asignar al defensor público del condado de Pima para que lo represente.
And Ms. Kostick is seated next to you this morning. She's going to help you out today.
Y la abogada Costa, que está sentada enseguida de usted, le puede ayudar el día de hoy.
And to prepare for this hearing, I reviewed the information from pretrial services, the interim complaint, and the state's recommendation.
Y para prepararme para la audiencia del día de hoy con usted, yo ya estudié el informe que me pasó la Agencia de los Servicios previos al juicio, ya también leí la denuncia provisional y la recomendación de la Fiscalía.
And the state is recommending a $35,000 cash secured bond plus release to pretrial services if that bond is posted.
Y la Fiscalía está recomendando que le fije fianza de $35,000 y que si usted deposita la fianza, quedará bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio y que esa fianza sea en efectivo o en garantía.
Mr. Postman, anything further?
Your Honor, the state made its recommendation based off of what the troubling allegations. And the court is no doubt aware of the very concerning statistics regarding DV strangulation. Thank you.
Thanks.
Le pregunta el juez al fiscal que si tiene alguna otra recomendación y el fiscal contesta diciendo que basándose en los alegatos tan graves que se aseveran y como el juez tiene conocimiento, hay estadísticas muy preocupantes con respecto a al estrangulamiento.
And Ms. Kotick?
Your Honor, I'd ask the court to release Mr. Coronado Figueroa to pretrial services based on the fact that he is a 1-1 on the PSA. He has confirmed housing apart from the victim. His pretrial services reports they have spoken to his mother, verified his housing. She has offered housing with her and verified support. He has no criminal history, felony history, and no DV misdemeanor history.
Okay, thank you.
Dice la abogada que su señoría, yo pido que al señor Coronado Figueroa quede libre bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio, porque el señor salió muy bajo en la escala de riesgo y también tiene vivienda disponible que no sea con la víctima. Incluso verificamos con su mamá y la mamá está dispuesta a que viva con él y ofrecerle hospedaje. Y también el señor Coronado Figueroa no tiene antecedentes penales por delitos graves y tampoco tiene historial por violencia doméstica.
Mr. Coronado Figueroa, I am going to hold you on a $5,000 cash secured bond.
Señor Figueroa, le dice el juez, sí voy a ordenar que usted se le fije fianza de $5,000 en efectivo o en garantía.
And sir, if you do find yourself out of custody by posting that bond or otherwise, you're ordered to possess no firearms or weapons.
Y señor, si usted sale libre porque depositó la fianza, entonces se le ordena que usted no debe de poseer armas de fuego.
Consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence.
Usted no puede consumir bebidas alcohólicas, no puede consumir ni tener tampoco drogas ilegales y no puede cometer actos adicionales de violencia doméstica.
Have no contact with the alleged victim and do not return to the incident location.
Usted no puede tener contacto con la presunta víctima ni tampoco puede regresar al lugar del incidente.
Additionally, sir, if you post the bond, you will be supervised by pretrial services, so please comply with whatever they ask you to do.
Y adicionalmente, si usted deposita la fianza, va a quedar bajo la supervisión de los servicios previos al juicio y por favor cumpla con las indicaciones que esta agencia le ordene.
And sir, your preliminary hearing date is going to be January 20th at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Señor, su audiencia preliminar va a ser el día 20 de enero a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Please stay in contact with your attorney, sir, and please also make sure you come back to future court dates, because if you do not do that, a warrant will issue for your arrest.
Por favor, manténgase en comunicación con su abogado y asegúrese de presentarse en su próxima audiencia, porque si no lo hace, se puede emitir una orden de arresto en su contra.
All right, thank you, sir. You are excused.
Thank you.
Gracias, señor. Es todo por hoy. Thank you.
Judge, I apologize. Could you just confirm that preliminary hearing date for me again?
Yes, it's January 20th. That's
Thank you, Judge.
Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, January 20th.
Wonderful.
And Madam
And
Inter-
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Yes, you may.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that's our only Spanish speaker this morning. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor. Thank you.
Pasó un bumper. Llevo tu carro, tiro en la casa, tiro transportes. Ah? You know, Paul Martinez down, we got one of the weights, so he's here. We'll get that motherfucker.
My eyebrow was initially raised too. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Please tell me your name.
Joel Ibarra.
Okay.
Just reviewing your.
Yes, just a moment, please. So, good morning, Mr. Ibarra. I'm seeing you on a couple matters today. This is your initial appearance. The first thing I'm seeing you on, sir, is going to involve a failure to appear at a Pima County Justice Court that alleged that you failed to appear in relation to a criminal trespass case. I am also seeing you on a warrant alleging that you failed to appear, I believe, on a felony matter. Just a moment. So yes, you're being held without bond in relation to a Superior Court matter, a couple Superior Court matters. I believe I'm seeing you on those this morning. Could be held over and have a hearing on those in Superior Court in the near future, probably tomorrow or early next week. So what I am seeing you on is the failure to appear on the Justice Court matter. And then I have a City Court case we need to talk about as well. For everything that we talk about, sir, today, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these matters could be used against you. Now, as it relates to the Justice Court matter, we're going to start there. I am going to release you on that matter and set your next court date. It's going to be on February 12th at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's going to be in front of Judge Cornejo at Pima County Justice Court downtown. And so you need to come back for that hearing, sir, because if you don't do that, then a warrant could issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody. If you are still in custody at that time, sir, because of whatever felony matters you have going on, then you will either be transported or seen on video for that. And so that's going to be released on your own recognizance, if I haven't said that already. Given that I am releasing you on this matter, I'm not going to appoint counsel for you. And that should cover it as it relates to the Justice Court matter. Let's move on to the city matter now. And on the city matter, that alleges that I'm seeing you on another failure to appear. It alleges that you failed to appear in reference to an aggravated soliciting and a public nuisance, a couple of charges out of Tucson City Courts. And so on those, I'm going to release you on those matters as well, sir. Your next court date on those is going to be on February 5th. Just a second. What? Yeah, so I'm actually going to set a non-transport review. That's going to be on February 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning in Tucson City Courts. So just a moment, and then we can move on. And if I haven't said it, sir, on that city court matter, I'm going to appoint the city public defender for you, sir. And on that, I'm going to order, sir, that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages. And again, I want to advise you, sir, that you must come back to court on that, because if you do not come back to court, a warrant could issue for your arrest again. You could find yourself back in custody. Additionally, as it relates to this matter out of city court, this is also the time set for your arraignment, sir. Manera pleads a not guilty on your behalf. And you're presumed innocent of this. If you fail to appear, as I said, not only could you get a warrant, but this matter could proceed to trial in your absence. And if you were tried in your absence and you didn't show up within 90 days of that conviction and couldn't be sentenced, then you could lose the ability to appeal that conviction. Sir, do you understand all that?
Yes, sir.
So I'm releasing you on these matters. I don't have any control over what's going on with the felony stuff, but you'll hear more about that in the near future in Superior Court. So that should cover it, sir. You are excused.
I think
You're so lawyer will be up to you. Certainly.
Mhm. Yep. I can. Good morning, sir.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Martin Antonio Nino Jr.
Nino, I'm seeing you on a couple matters, sir. And both of them are out of Tucson, out of Pima County Justice Court. And the first alleges that you failed to appear in relation to a theft allegation. The second alleges that you failed to appear in relation to a interference with judicial proceedings allegation, which is alleged to be an act of domestic violence, sir. So as it relates to these matters, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these matters could be used against you. So big question I have, sir, is that if I release you on these matters, will you come back to court? Because I think you know by this point, sir, that if you don't come back to court for your hearings and new warrants are approved for your arrest, you get arrested again and the cycle starts over. Are you willing to come to court, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is it downtown court by any chance?
Yes, sir. It's a Pima County Justice Court. So I don't know.
On West Congress, right?
It's actually on it's on Tool, I guess, but I don't know if you're familiar, but it's like it's the newest court building downtown. So yes.
Justice Court is 240 North Stone.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
240 North Stone, sir, but effectively, if you look around downtown, you'll see a bunch of older, generally drab buildings. But if you look for the good one, that's where you're going. Okay.
I hear you.
All right.
The shiny new.
Excuse me.
That's right. It's even got like a little shimmering art fixture on the outside of the building. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
All right. So, sir, to that end, I'm going to release you on this matter on your promise to appear. Your next hearing is going to be an arraignment, and that's going to be in front of Judge Foreman. And
So I'm released for sure?
yes, sir. Yeah, you're released.
Okay.
Yeah. So just give me a second and we can finish this up and you'll be on your way.
Okay.
So again, sir, really important to come back to court, because if you don't do that, then a warrant will no doubt issue for your arrest. And you'll start the cycle over again, as it were. So
Sir, I have a question.
sure.
I'm trying to get my Social Security, my food stamps back. My mom has it. Can they go get it for me with me?
I'm sorry, could you
So
say that again, sir?
I'm trying to get my Social Security, my food stamps back, so I get back to my income. How am I be able to get my cards back for my
So,
mother?
what I
Can
would-
they go get it for me?
Well, so I have not made any orders as it relates to you returning back to the, is your mother the victim in the domestic violence allegation?
Correct. But I need somebody to assist me to get my income back.
Okay, so
And she has the cards.
there's two different issues there, sir. So if you do need to return to your mother's residence one time, I'm going to order that you're able to do that, but you must do it with a law enforcement escort. Okay, so
Okay.
don't go back there without a law enforcement escort, but that's something that they can help you set up. Whether it's probably going to be the sheriff's department that would help you with that. And then the
Okay.
separate issue is that if you need help as it relates to potential services, getting information or assistance with getting SSI benefits reinstated, there's a transition center outside the jail that may be able to help provide some guidance or support with that. So if you're interested in looking into that as well, sir, once you get released from the jail later today, please head over to the transition center that's right outside, and they may be able to assist you with that as well. Okay.
And they have a phone outside, right?
Yeah, they should in the transition center, sir. One way or another, there
Okay.
should be a phone outside the property.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Have a good day, sir.
You too. Thank you.
Ah. Good morning, sir.
Your Honor.
You please tell me your name.
Heriberto Franco Jr.
All right. I'm not sure. Just a second. Oh, got it. Just a second, sir. Doing these little bits out of order. Okay, so Mr. Franco, sir, this is your initial appearance. Looks like you've been charged on a few different offenses, one of which alleges that you committed aggravated assault on a peace officer. You committed disorderly conduct by displaying a dangerous instrument, and then also one misdemeanor count of criminal damage. You, sir, presumed innocent as it relates to all these allegations. You do have the right to remain silent. You have the right to be represented by an attorney at all stages of this proceeding. Just a moment. And so I'm going to be appointing the Pima County Public Defender to assist you today, sir. Ms. Kostick is there to help you out this morning. And in order to prepare for today's hearing, I reviewed the information for pre-trial services, the information in the interim complaint, and the state's recommendation, which is a $7,500 bond with release to pretrial, and the bond is posted. Mr. Posted, anything further on this?
No, Judge.
Your Honor, in setting the appropriate release conditions, I'd ask the court to consider that Mr. Franco does not have any prior felony history here in Pima County, that this involved spitting, an allegation of spitting, no physical injury, that it appears from the interim complaint that he was somewhat compliant. He did relinquish the items in his hand, including the BB gun initially. So I'd ask the court to take all that into consideration. I think Mr. Heriberto will comply in the future with any court directives and any supervision provided by this.
Just a moment, please.
Sorry.
Mr. Franco, I am willing to release you to the supervision of preach. Go ahead.
No, Your Honor, that's fine. We'll take the court's decision. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So I am willing to release you to the supervision of pretrial services, sir. However, there are going to be certain conditions that you must follow. Okay, first among them, and perhaps most important among them, is that you possess no firearms or weapons. Also, you must not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Submit to monitoring and treatment as directed by pretrial services. Are you willing to follow those conditions, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
In light of that, I'm willing to release you to pretrial services, as I said. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing date. That's on January 28th, 1:30 in the afternoon. You must come back to court for that hearing and stay in contact with your attorney. They may have more information about that particular hearing. But when you have court dates in the future, it's important you come back, sir, because if you don't, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay? Sir,
Yes, Your
you are excused.
Okay. You have more felonies coming right now or is it?
I have one more. That's gonna be De La Cruz.
De La Cruz, okay.
De La Cruz. Sure. Yes.
It's a review hearing.
This is the house though.
House phone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Matthew De La Cruz.
All right, good morning, Mr. De La Cruz. I'm seeing you on a review hearing that relates to an out-of-county matter out of Yuma County that you're being held on. As you probably have heard at prior hearings, we set these review hearings periodically just to see, kind of keep tabs on the progress of you being returned to Yuma County and that sort of thing, and the resolution of any local charges that you may have. So it sounds like more time's needed because you're being seen this morning. If it was all wrapped up, you'd be gone by now. So for that reason, we're going to reset the review hearing to February 9th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's Monday, February 9th, 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're still here in Pima County and your local charges haven't quite wrapped up by then, you're going to be seen again at that hearing, sir, just to kind of keep tabs on what's going on with everything here locally. And then, once things wrap up here, you can be on your way out to Yuma. So the bond that was previously imposed is going to remain. And I believe that covers it, sir. So thank you very much, sir. You are excused.
Thank you. I said, put this on.
Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name? We're muted at the jail.
Here we go, Your Honor.
Thank you. And sir, your name again?
Juan Madru.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Madrill, I am seeing you on a matter out of Pima County Justice Court, and that alleges that you failed to appear in relation to a charge that involves refusing to give your true name. And so, sir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to release you on this matter. Your next court date is going to be in Pima County Justice Court downtown. And that's going to be on February 4th at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's Wednesday, February 4th, 10 o'clock in the morning in front of Judge Miller. You're going to get paperwork that says all of this, sir. But it's really important that you come back to court, sir, because you know what happens if you don't. You got arrested on a warrant today. That'll happen again if you don't show up to that hearing, I suspect, or at least if you don't get it resolved before you have police contact. Additionally, I'm appointing Brent Cicero to represent you, sir, as it relates to this matter, and his information is going to be on the paperwork if you're not already familiar with who that is. His phone number is. Any questions?
Okay. No, sir.
All right. Good luck, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Austin, all the way up, sir, for left hand side. Austin,
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Please tell me your name.
Elijah Austin.
All right, Mr. Austin, I am seeing you this morning on new charges that are out of Tucson City Court. They allege that you committed criminal damage and the disorderly conduct, both of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. You, sir, presumed innocent as it relates to these allegations, and you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this could be used against you. Now, sir, if I release you on this matter, are you willing to follow certain conditions, specifically that you have no contact with Christina Austin and you not return to the incident location?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to do, sir. It's ordered that you're going to be released on your promise to appear. However, certain conditions, I've already started to cover them, but let me work through them again. Sir, you're ordered to not have any contact of any kind with Christina Austin. Do not go to the victim's residence or the incident location. If you need to go back to that residence one time to get belongings of yours, you may do that, sir, but you have to do it with a law enforcement escort. Okay. So it's pretty, there's a process for that. At the jail, they probably have more info, but you'd get a TPD officer to go with you, and then that's how you get your stuff. Additionally, sir, I'm ordering that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, commit no further acts of domestic violence, and possess no firearms or weapons. I am releasing you, as I said. Your next court date is going to be on February 5th. And that's going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning in City Court in front of Judge Verena. Okay, sir. And a couple other things. So first of all, it's important that you come back to court, because if you do not do that, then a warrant could issue for your arrest. This is also the time set for your arraignment. I'm going to enter pleas and not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed innocent. And sir, not only could you get a warrant if you fail to appear, but if you fail to appear in this matter, trial could go forward in your absence. And if you were convicted without being there, sir, and couldn't be sentenced within 90 days of that conviction, you could lose the ability to appeal that conviction. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, sir. You're going to be out of jail in a few hours here, okay?
thank you.
You're welcome.
Garcia. Sir, right, it's straight. All the way down the stairs, far left hand side of the boys.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Bianca Garcia.
All right, Ms. Garcia, I'm seeing you this morning on new charges that allege that you committed 2 acts of disorderly conduct and 2 acts of assault, all 4 of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. You, ma'am, are presumed innocent of these charges. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these matters could be used against you. And so if I release you on this matter, ma'am, are you willing to have no contact of any kind with Ashley Garcia and Michael Garcia?
Yes.
Okay, are you also willing to not go back to the victim's residence or the incident location?
Yes.
And do you live at a different location, ma'am?
Sometimes I live with my grandma.
Okay, but nevertheless, you don't live with the victims and you don't live where this incident occurred?
I do.
You do? Okay, well, would you?
Yeah.
Okay, and so would you be able to go back and live with your grandma in the intervening time?
Yes.
Okay, all right. in light of that, all the more reason why I believe it's appropriate for you to be released, ma'am. If you do need to go back to the victim's residence, one time to get belongings, if you have belongings over there, you can do that. You just have to do it with a law enforcement escort, okay? So there's a process for that. Basically, you take an officer, you have an officer go with you, get your stuff, and then that takes care of it, okay?
Okay.
All right, you're gonna get paperwork that says this, but your next court date is gonna be on February 9th at 9:30 in the morning. That's gonna be for a pretrial in front of Judge Mayhew. And so it's important that you come back to court for a few reasons. First of all, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Also, because this is the time set for your arraignment, I want to advise you that if you don't come back to court, you could be convicted in your absence. And if you were not sentenced within 90 days of that conviction, then you could lose the ability to appeal any conviction that happened when you weren't there for the trial. I'm also going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf, ma'am. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I don't think so.
All right, very good. You're going to get the paperwork that says all this. Have a great day.
You too.
Masters, you're up.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm hopefully doing better.
All right. Well, I hope so. Hope so, sir. Could you tell me your name?
Eric Jason Masters.
Okay, just a second, sir.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Here. I think it says here. I'm sorry, it says adjudicated case. Yeah. Just a second, sir. I'm looking into something.
yes, sir. Your Honor.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, so sir, I'm seeing you on charge that alleged that you failed to appear in relation to a criminal trespass in the 3rd degree allegation. So you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this could be used against you. And so I believe that you're being held on something else, sir. So give me a second. I'm pulling that up. Yes, you're being held. And you may know this already, but it looks like you have a probation violation hold out of Superior Court that's holding you, sir. And so I'm just seeing you on the city court matter today. That's it. There's a $250 cash secured bond that's associated with that city court matter. I'm going to affirm that bond. I'm imposing that $250 cash secured bond. You're going to be held in relation to the felony case. So,
Your Honor, can I say something, please, sir? I was stabbed 12 times on the city bus on Christmas Eve. I apologize for any discrepancies. I've been in and out of the hospital. Prior to the stabbing on the bus, I had to have my spleen taken out. I've been in the hospital for like in and out like a long time. So I'm not making excuses, but this is a legit thing. I've had some hiccups, I guess you could call it. I apologize for the waste of your time and the failure to appear. I understand, and the same goes with this felony case too. It's the same thing. I do apologize though, but I wanted to bring that to your attention. I'm hurt bad.
yeah, well, I am sorry to hear that, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't have any control over the felony case today. I'm
Yes,
just
sir.
talking to you about the misdemeanor stuff. So even if I were to release you on the misdemeanor case, you'd still be held on the felony. And
I
so,
understand.
so I am.
So,
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
I was just asking if we could just, get rid of this little misdemeanor thing. I go maybe see the felony thing, talk to the judge, tell her, I will be, I'm not trying to be a vigilante.
Yeah,
Just trying to heal. Yeah, and that's it. So,
Well, let me tell you this, sir. So I am going to hold you on the $250 cash secured bond. However, you're going to have a hearing in 8 days in Tucson City Court. And so at that hearing, it's entirely possible, if not likely, that if you want to, you could plead guilty on this matter and be done with it. It could potentially be a time served plea. I'm not promising you that because I don't know exactly what the deal would be. But for this type of offense, it's likely that that would occur. And given the probation hold out of Superior Court, you would likely be held longer on the probation hold out of Superior Court than next week's hearing on the misdemeanor. So that is to say, if you are interested in doing so, you could probably tie a bow on everything with a city court case by the time you would be out on the felony. So in any event, I'm holding you on that $250 cash secured bond. I'm going to order that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages. I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you, sir. Your next court date is going to be on Friday, the 16th.
Okay.
Just a second. Yeah, Friday, the 16th, and that's going to be at 1:45 in the afternoon in front of Judge Bond. I'm noting that you also have a felony hold, so I'm check that box here. So, sir, if you get out of custody on this case, and it's important that you come back to court, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Also, this is the time set for your arraignment on these new charges. So I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'm sorry, not new charges, the charges you're being seen on today. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed innocent. If you fail to come back to court, sir, for the future hearings on the city court matter, they could take you to trial without you being there. And if you were convicted without you being there, then you could lose the ability to appeal that conviction. And that is if you couldn't be sentenced within 90 days. Do you understand this, sir?
Yeah, I know the person that stabbed me is here.
Okay, well, I mean, if there's a case that's going on with that, I don't have any control over that. But I would imagine, if there could be a case with the Tucson Police Department's, aggravated assault detectives and so forth. I don't know anything about that though right now. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. You're excused. I wish you well. Hope you feel better.
Thank you, sir.
You got it.
Let's go to
McKenna?
a thing. I'm on her. Sorry. I got
Please tell me. Sorry, could you say it again?
Fabiola McKenna.
There's a lot of noise in the background. I don't know if it's over the phone line or at the jail, but it's kind of hard to hear. So thank you. All right. So good morning, Ms. McKenna. This is your initial appearance. And I'm seeking charges that allege that you committed 3 new charges, 2 of which are disorderly conduct, 1 of which is an assault, all 3 of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. So, ma'am, you are presumed innocent of these charges. Anything you say about them could be used against you. And so, and you do have the right to remain silent. If I haven't said that, I think I might have probably just said that. Okay, so ma'am, if I release you from custody, are you willing to come back to court and follow some other conditions that I'm going to impose?
Yes.
Okay, so given that you have next to 0, if not 0, other criminal history, and given the information that I'm seeing on pretrial here, I am willing to release you, ma'am. However, you are ordered not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs. You are ordered not to commit any future acts of domestic violence. The victims in this matter, who appear to be Mr. Romero, Daniel Romero, and then Miguel Flores and Itzi Martinez, none of them oppose your release from custody. None of them oppose future contact with you. So for that reason, I'm not going to impose those restrictions. However, you must come back to city court, and that's going to be on February 10th at 1:30 in the afternoon, and that's going to be in front of Judge Million for a pretrial hearing. This is also the time set for your arraignment on this matter, ma'am. So I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf as it relates to these charges. You are presumed innocent of them. You got to come back to court because not only could a warrant issue for your arrest, but if you don't come back to court, then the trial could go forward in your absence. And if you were convicted in your absence and not sentenced within 90 days, you could lose the ability to appeal the conviction. Do you understand that?
So do.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. You're going to be excused. You should be out in a few hours. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please. Please, that.
No, I mean, it seems like.
David? I can see the brown shirt.
Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
David Paul.
All right, just a moment. So, Mr. Paul, sir, this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on charges that allege that you failed to appear on a matter out of Tucson City Court that alleges that you committed an act of disorderly conduct that is alleged to be an act of domestic violence. That goes back to a charge from mid-May of last year, I should say, 2025. And you, sir, have the right to remain silent as it relates to that charge. Judge Millian is asking that you be held on a $1,000 cash bond. So that's what I'm doing. I'm ordering you held on a $1,000 cash bond. It does also sound like you have a DOC hold. So even if I were to release you on this matter, you'd still remain in custody. You may just get taken back to DOC rather than held at the jail here locally. The $1,000 cash secured bond, sir, I am ordering that if you do get out of custody for some reason, that you commit no acts of domestic violence. I'm appointing the city public defender to represent you, sir. I'm noting that you have that DOC hold. Your next hearing is going to be in front of Judge Millian, and that's going to be on January 14th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You will get paperwork that says this. And so, and that's going to be for an arraignment, a DV arraignment in front of her. And so, sir, if you do get out of custody for some reason, I need to advise you that if you don't come back to court, another warrant could issue for your arrest. So you could find yourself back in custody on that warrant. Okay, do you understand, sir? All right, that takes care of it, sir. You are excused.
Tillman? Yeah, 44, going back.
Unless it's already generating.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please tell me your name.
Martin.
All right, Pillman, I'm seeing you on charges that allege that you failed to appear. Just a second. Actually, no, it's not alleging that you failed to appear. It looks like you were just arrested for the first time on a charge of unlawful imprisonment that's alleged to be an act of domestic violence. That's alleged to have happened back on September 22nd at 6200 South Campbell, or like Campbell and Valencia. And so, sir, you do have the right to remain silent as it relates to anything related to this matter. Anything you say about it could be used against you. And so give me just a moment, sir. So, sir, if I release you on this matter, are you willing to follow certain conditions that I'm going to tell you about right now?
Yes.
Okay, so first among them is that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, and that is Kayla Williams. Her position on whether or not she would be okay with you contacting her could not be gotten before court today. It's not included in pretrial services information. So because of that, I'm ordering that you have no contact with her. If it turns out that she is okay with contact, that can be changed in the future. But unless and until that day comes, you are ordered not to have any contact with her in the meantime. Additionally, sir, I'm going to order that you not go back to the victim's residence and or incident location. It looks like that may be a shared residence. Is that correct, sir? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And so what you may do, sir, is if you need to go back to get belongings of yours, that's fine. You can do it one time. It's just you have to do it with a law enforcement escort. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to release you on your promise to appear. Your next court date, sir, is going to be a DV arraignment, and that's going to be in front of Judge Million, and that's going to be on February 10th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And it's important you come back to court, sir, because if you don't come back to court, then a warrant will issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody that way. I'm also going to order, sir, that during the pendency of this case, that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, that you possess no firearms or weapons, and then you commit no further acts of domestic violence. Okay, sir, that takes care of it. You're going to get paperwork that explains all of this, and you are excused. You should be released a little bit later today. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Holiday?
Good morning, sir.
Hello, Your Honor.
Could you please tell me your name?
Judea Holiday?
All right. Good morning, Mr. Holiday. We do have the victim on the line as well, who I'm going to get with in just a moment to get their position on whether you ought to be held or released. But to start off, sir, this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on charges that allege that you committed 2 counts of disorderly conduct that are alleged to have happened this morning about 3:45 in the morning. You have the right to remain silent, sir. Anything you say about this case could be used against you. And so let me turn to the victim now. If the victim, if you're unmuted, it's my understanding you'd like to address the court. What would you like the court to know this morning? And really, all that I'm deciding today is whether or not Mr. Holiday will remain in custody or not. And if he's released from custody, what conditions would be imposed. So please let me know what you'd like me to know.
Hi, Your Honor. My name's Crystal Holiday, and I would have no problem with him being released.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
And yes, okay. Thank you so much. Can I stay on the line and listen in?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Please continue to listen in, and then once it concludes, whenever you want to sign off, just hang up, and you should be good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it. All right. So give me just a moment here. And ma'am, you are Miss Holiday, right? You're Crystal Holiday, is that correct?
I am Crystal Holiday.
Okay, got it. Okay, so, all right. So, Mr. Holiday, if you follow certain conditions, if I order you to follow certain conditions, would you be willing to follow them if that's what it's going to take for you to be released?
Yes, Your Honor. I promise you, you will never see me again. As far as I will never be getting in trouble again. I'll do anything that you would do. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, so what I'm going to do, sir, is I'm going to order that you possess or consume no alcoholic beverages, commit no acts of domestic violence, possess no firearms or weapons, and that you can't have any contact of any kind with Angela Aguilar while the case is pending. And so I say that because her input as to whether or not she would be okay with you having contact with her could not be gotten before court today. So because of that, in an abundance of caution, I'm ordering that you have no contact with her. However, if she has a different opinion on that, then she can tell a judge at a future court date that you have, and you could probably get that lifted or adjusted. But for now, I'm ordering no contact with her. And so Ms. Holiday, of course, was on the line. She indicated she does not oppose your release. I'm also seeing additional information that relates that she does not oppose you having contact with her and returning home. So for that reason, I'm not going to make any conditions that restrict that at all. So you can go back to Ms. Holiday's residence. And so your next court date, sir, is going to be a DV arraignment, and that's going to be in front of Judge Million. You're going to get paperwork that says all this, but it's going to be in front of Judge Million on February 10th, 1:30 in the afternoon. And so, sir, one other thing before we wrap up here is that you must come back to court, because if you don't come back to court, sir, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and you could find yourself back in custody. So please come back to court on February 10th, and I believe that covers it. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You'll be out of the jail in a few hours here, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks. You got it.
Oh, God.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Could you please look up, please, so I can hear what you're saying? Could you please tell me your name?
Vincenta?
And is it Vicenta Zepeda Lehman? Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. So, ma'am, this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on 2 new charges that allege that you committed assault and then disorderly conduct, both of which are alleged to be acts of domestic violence. It occurred early this morning around 12:45 in the morning. And so, hang on a second. So you do have the right to remain silent, ma'am. Anything you say about this case could be used against you. So we're recording these proceedings and you're live over Teams and everything else. So it's important that you not talk about the facts of anything that may or may not happen. You're presumed innocent, so you don't have anything to go on right now. So in any event, ma'am, give me just a moment and I will. Ma'am, if I release you on this case, are you willing to have no contact with the alleged victim? And some specifically talking about Angelina Tonkin. Are you willing to have no contact with her?
Well, she's my mother.
I know, but I mean, during the pendency of the case, are you willing to do that? Because,
For reassurance for her? Yes.
right, and just because I'm ordering that, it sounds like you may need
Yes.
a bit of a cooling off period. So, so in any event, I am going to release you, ma'am, on your promise to appear. However, on that condition that you have no contact of any kind with Angelica Tonkin. And this also means that you may not return to the incident location. So is that where you live? Is that the incident location?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to allow you to do, ma'am, is that you may go back to that incident location one time, but you have to do it with law enforcement. So basically, you have like a police escort or whatever go with you, and then you can get your belongings, and then that's that. And so on that condition, ma'am, I am going to release you on your promise to appear. Your next court date is going to be in front of Judge Hale in Tucson City Court. You're going to get paperwork that says all this, but your next court date is on February 6th. It's going to be at 10 o'clock in the morning. And that's again in front of Judge Hale. And it's going to be for a pretrial. And so one other thing, ma'am, is that this is also the time set for your arraignment on this matter. So I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf. You are presumed innocent of the charges that I've been talking to you about. You must come back to court in relation to this case, because if you don't come back to court for future hearings, then not only could you get a warrant for your arrest, but trial could go forward in your absence. If you were convicted at that trial and couldn't be sentenced within 90 days, then you could lose your ability to appeal that conviction. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, you're going to be excused. You are excused, and you'll be out of the jail here in the next few hours. And you're going to get paperwork that says all this. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you. Let's see.
Ballot? Ballot. Yes, before you eat. These felonies?
Yes.
Yes.
Your Honor, let me grab counsel real quick.
Sure. All righty. Good morning, ma'am. Could you please tell me your name?
My name is Maria Fallon.
All right, Ms. Fallon, this is your initial appearance, ma'am. I'm seeing you on charges that allege that you committed 2 counts of child abuse. It relates to an alleged driving under the influence allegation. You, ma'am, are presumed innocent as it relates to these allegations, and you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Kostick seated next to you for the purpose of today's hearing, Pima County Public Defender to represent you, ma'am. And it's important to note that for the purpose of this hearing, I've reviewed the information supplied by pretrial services, the information in the interim complaint, and also the state's recommendation, which is a $3,500 bond, cash is secured with release to pretrial services if that bond is posted. Mr. Posted, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kostick.
Your Honor, I strongly request this court release Ms. Fallon either on her recognizance order, the supervision of pretrial services. She has no felony history, no DUI misdemeanor history. I was able to speak both with her wife, Ms. Simpson, and with her mother, Kathy Chavez. Housing is verified with both of them. However, I would also ask this court, which is rare, to consider allowing contact between Ms. Fallon and her children. She is still breastfeeding her 1-year-old, and it would cause significant distress to her children to be separated physically from them, and particularly the 1-year-old and his bonding. If the court was not inclined to allow her to return home to Ms. Simpson, I would ask that she at least have visitation permission to breastfeed her child.
So, ma'am, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. However, there are certain conditions. First among them is that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. So really important that you abide by that you not drive without a valid license, and that you submit to monitoring and treatment as directed by pretrial services. I do not see a need, given the absence of other criminal history and some of the considerations that Ms. Kostick raised, I do not see the need to restrict your ability to have contact with the minor children, nor to return to the shared residence. So for that reason, I'm not restricting that. But it's really important that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, you do not drive without a valid license, and you abide by whatever terms and conditions pretrial asks you to do. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing, and that's going to be on January 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon. One other thing I want to tell you before we wrap up is that it's important that you come back to your future court dates, ma'am, and you stay in contact with your attorney. Because if you don't come back to future court dates, then a warrant could issue for your arrest. You could find yourself back in custody. Do you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much. You are excused. You should be out in a couple hours or so.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so
Good morning, sir.
Please.
Please tell me your name.
Dominic Dorme Riesco.
I'm sorry, can you say that?
Dominic Dorme Riesco.
All right.
Your Honor, just to put everyone on notice, I do have a probable cause argument that I'd like to make as it relates to this defendant.
Okay, so Mr. Riesgo, I'm sorry, I said your name poorly. Riesgo, maybe. This is your initial appearance, sir. It looks like you've been arrested on a charge that alleges that you committed fraudulent schemes. And so, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case could be used against you. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney at all proceedings on this case. I am appointing the Pima County legal defender to represent you. Ms. Costick is seated next to you for the purpose of this hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, I have reviewed the information from pretrial, the information in the interim complaint, and the state's recommendation, which is a $5,000 bond plus release of pretrial services in the event that that bond is posted. Mr. Posted, anything further?
Your Honor, I was waiting to see what counsel's argument was for probable cause.
Okay, well, then we can start there and then come back around as necessary. So Ms. Costick, I'll turn to you on the.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Notwithstanding the interim complaints on the co-defendants Membria and Villanueva, which do provide more information on the four corners of the interim complaint as it relates to Mr. Riesgo, I do not believe that probable cause has been pled as to the prima facie elements. It says that an investigation was initiated. It involves an admission by Mr. Riesgo of a legal conclusion that a document is fraudulent, which is, I think, a corpus delicti problem in that no other evidence linking or asserting who the check belongs to, that he did not have permission to use it, et cetera, doesn't meet the prima facie elements within the four corners of the interim complaint. So as to Mr. Riesgo only, I am going to ask that this complaint be dismissed.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Poston. As it relates to probable cause?
Your Honor, I'm bringing up the IC specific to Mr. Riesgo. One moment. Just a moment, please. Your Honor, what I'm seeing reference fraudulent activity when they tried to cash a fraudulent check. Post Miranda, the individual did speak with the officers stating that he knew the check was fraudulent at the time. So, Your Honor, after having waived his right to counsel, he decided to speak with the police and essentially admitted knowing that the check was fraudulent when it was being tendered. And based on the reading, it says Dominic was accompanied by two others when they attempted to cash a fraudulent check. And I would say the mens rea is present because the defendant did admit as such afterwards. So, Your Honor, based on the documents wording alone, the state submits there is probable cause.
The court agrees, at least as it relates to an attempted fraudulent schemes. This is not a particularly compelling case, but given that the probable cause standard is a reasonable belief that a crime is committed and that Mr. Riesgo or another accused committed it, the court finds that there is probable cause, albeit a closer call than most. And so as it relates to release conditions, Mr. Poston, I do see that $5,000 bond with pretrial services requested. Anything further you'd like to be heard on?
Your Honor, given the court's take and the court's comments, state would be comfortable with $1,500.
All right, Ms. Costick.
Your Honor, given the paucity of evidence, but that it just barely eked by, I would ask for pretrial services. And Mr. Riesgo does understand that he needs to abide by any conditions set and the obligation to return to work.
So even though you do appear to be on parole, sir, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services with certain conditions, okay? So first off, possess no weapons or firearms, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, submit to monitoring or treatment as recommended or directed by pretrial services. I'm also ordering that you contact your parole officer, your community supervision officer, within 48 hours. Are you able to do that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So that is an additional condition that I'm including here. And when you contact him, just need to let him know that you've been arrested and that you're out of custody. You don't need to, make any admissions or anything. Ms. Costa can tell you all about that, but just advise them of what occurred generally. Okay. And under those conditions, sir, I am willing to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing, and that's going to be on January 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon, sir. And so that takes care of it. You should be out in probably a couple or a few hours here, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
One final thing, need to come back to court for future hearings, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Joel Alexander Rios.
All right. Mr. Rios, sir, this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on new charges that allege a couple things. So it alleges that you possessed a weapon while being a prohibited possessor, and then you committed disorderly conduct with a weapon. You, sir, are presumed innocent of these allegations, and you have the right to remain silent as to everything we're talking about here today. And so you do also have the right to be represented by an attorney through the pendency of this matter, sir. And that attorney is going to be at the public defender's office. And Ms. Kostick, seated next to you, she's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. For the purpose of the hearing, I've reviewed the information supplied by pretrial services, the information in the state's recommendation, and also the information in the interim complaint. So what is the state's recommendation? Well, I see a state's recommending a $7,500 bond plus pretrial. Anything further, Mr. Poston?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Kostick.
Your Honor, in setting release conditions, I'd ask the court to consider that although contact was not able to be made with Mr. Rios's mother, his driver's license and his address do match, which verifies his presence here in the community. He was paroled in January, and his sentence ended in July of this past year for his most recent offense, without a revocation, which suggests that he does know how to comply with supervision and understands his obligations to the court. So I would ask the court to consider pretrial services release at this time for Mr. Rios.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Rios, I am going to hold you on a $5,000 cash secured bond. If you post that bond, you're going to be supervised by pretrial services. Some additional conditions, sir. You are ordered not to possess any firearms or weapons. Please do not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Submit to monitoring and treatment by pretrial if you do find yourself out of custody, sir. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney, and also please be sure to come back to court, because if you don't come back to court, sir, a warrant will issue for your arrest and you could find yourself back in custody. Do you understand, sir? All right, now I'll take that as a yes. He's nodding. Thank you very much, sir. You're excused.
Attorney, do you okay?
All right, folks, everybody on this side. In the middle, all the way around. For Ellen, it's like you give the person in that buncher, or we scoot down from those, or it's like. We scoot down, scoot down, scoot down, scoot down.
Mr. Allen.
Hang on.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Just tell me your name.
Ruben Allen.
All right. So, Mr. Allen, sir, this is your initial appearance. You are being seen on charges that allege that you possessed a narcotic drug and then you possessed drug paraphernalia. You are presumed innocent of all these charges. You do have the right to remain silent, sir. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you. You have the right to be appointing the Pima County legal defender to represent you. Ms. Costick seated to your left. She's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. And I've reviewed the information from pretrial services, the information in the interim complaint, and then the state's recommendation, which is that you be released to pretrial services and that we set what's called a smart court hearing for you, or a steps court hearing. So I'm assuming the state submits on that recommendation. Is that correct, Mr. Poston?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Costick.
Your Honor, I'm in the odd position of asking for a nominal bond for Mr. Rubin because he has a parole hold. And if we release him to pretrial, I think we'll lose him to the Department of Corrections and he won't get the benefit of the STEPS program that he's eligible for and avoiding a felony conviction. I'd ask for just a $1 bond if the court would be so inclined. That would hold him, give him the pretrial credit, allow us to get him to that first STEPS hearing and maybe speak with his parole officer about addressing the parole issue separately.
Makes sense to me. So, sir, I'm going to set a $50 cash secured bond. And if you do post that bond and you don't get called off the DOC or out of custody, then you're going to be supervised by pretrial services at that point, sir. I'm going to order that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, you possess no firearms or weapons. And sir, it also looks like you're, as has been alluded to, you're eligible for this program called STEPS, which is a great program in the sense that for folks that are eligible for it, basically you can get some support as it relates to a possible substance abuse problem. And if you complete the program's requirements, if you're eligible for the program, you complete the program's requirements, then the charges could be dismissed and you would have the case go away. You don't get indicted. It's a good opportunity and it might get you some support that could be helpful for you, sir. So is that something that you're interested in?
Yes, sir.
All right. So given that we're holding Mr. Allen in custody, I'm not inclined to request a PH waiver. Did you need to be heard on that further, Ms. Costa?
No, Your Honor, we'd ask for a STEPS hearing as soon as practical.
Okay, you got it. So the STEPS hearing is going to be 1 week from today. That's going to be on January 15th at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be in Pima County Superior Court in front of Judge Judge Tracy Miller. So you'll be back in court at that time, sir. Your preliminary hearing is going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. And if you do find yourself out of custody, sir, it's important that you come back to court because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
Oh, yeah, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you please tell me your name?
Alvarez, Alvarez.
All right.
Alberto.
Thank you, sir. So this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on a new charge that alleges that you committed unlawful imprisonment, which is alleged to be an act of domestic violence. So you, sir, are presumed innocent of that allegation. Anything you say about it could be used against you. You do have the right to remain, and you do have the right to remain silent. I haven't quite said that yet. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you on this matter, and that's going to be from the Pima County Public Defender's Office, sir. Ms. Costick seated to your left, she's going to help you out this morning. And in order to prepare for this hearing, I reviewed the information in the interim complaint, the information in the pretrial services recommendation, and also the state's recommendation, which is a $35,000 bond plus pretrial services if that bond is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Judge.
Ms. Costick?
Your Honor, in fashioning conditions of release, I'd ask the court to consider that his driver's license does match his given address, so he has verified existence in the community. If the court's inclined to release him, he's on federal probation parole, which I know can cut both ways, but it would be an additional level of supervision and support for Mr. Alvarez at this time. So I'd ask the court to consider release.
Okay, just a moment, please. So, Mr. Alvarez, I'm going to impose a $7,500 cash secured bond. And so if you post that bond, sir, and you find yourself out of custody before a potential Fed hold gets placed, then you're going to be supervised by pretrial services. Certain other conditions that I'm imposing are that you possess no firearms or weapons, you you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, you have no contact with the victim, and that you not go back to the incident location. So your next hearing, sir, is going to be a preliminary hearing, and that's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. So if one way or another, sir, you find yourself out of custody, it's important to know you must come back to court, because if you don't come back to court, then a warrant could issue for your arrest, sir, and you can find yourself in custody that way. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. You are excused. Okay. Oh, got it. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Could you please tell me your name?
Jerry Vidal.
All right. And sir, this is your initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges that allege that you committed possession of a narcotic drug and then possession of drug paraphernalia. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. And to that end, I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you, sir. Ms. Costick's there to help you out this morning. And so in order to prepare for this hearing, I've reviewed the information in the interim complaint, the information from pretrial, and then the state's recommendation, which is a $2,500 bond plus release of pretrial services if that bond is posted, with a steps court hearing being set. Mr. Poston, anything further on this?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Costick?
Your Honor, given that this is steps eligible and that the co-defendant was released to pretrial services, or at least that was the inclination, but we asked for a hold because of his probation situation. Mr. Badial does not have the same parole probation situation. I would ask for pretrial services release.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment.
And Your Honor, I would add just one additional piece of information. Despite a lengthy criminal history, only one failure to appear on those felony matters reflected in the pretrial services lookup at least.
Thank you for that as well. Okay, so Mr. Is it Badial?
Yes.
Sir, I am going to release you to the supervision of criminal services. And so you must comply with any monitoring or treatment that they recommend you comply with. I'm going to order that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. And one other thing that we haven't really talked about too much yet is that you may be eligible for a program that's called STEPS. And STEPS is a great thing in the sense that if you're eligible for it, then if you complete certain requirements that relate to staying in contact with pretrial services, completing treatment requirements, then it's possible that this entire case goes away and it gets dismissed without you ever being indicted, sir. And it also gets you some support as it relates to a possible substance abuse problem. Is that something that you're interested in exploring, sir?
Possibly.
Okay, so is that for today's sake, is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason why I ask, I don't mean to, I mean, ultimately you have to want that sort of support for it to really work. But I ask that, sir, because what I'm going to do, if you're interested in at least considering it, you're not forced into anything by saying yes today, but at least considering it today, is I'm going to set a hearing for you 1 week from today. It's called a steps hearing. That's going to be on January 15th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that's just an opportunity for you to learn more about the program, what would be asked of you and that sort of thing. And then if you want to do it, great. And if you say, you know what, it's not for me, that's fine too. But so to that end, given that you're at least maybe interested in it, I'm going to set that steps hearing for January 15th, 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be in Superior Court downtown. Please come downtown for that hearing, sir. It's going to be in front of Judge Miller on the 3rd floor of Superior Court. And given that he's being released and the step status, Ms. Costick, are you willing to waive on the DH date?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we're going to set the preliminary hearing date, and that's going to be on February 23rd. And it's going to be at 1:30 in the afternoon. So, Mr. Badial, please stay in contact with your attorney while this case is pending. And please come back to court next week for that steps hearing on Thursday morning, so you can learn more about it. And if you want to do it, great. If not, that's your right as well, sir. Okay?
All right.
All right. Have a good night, sir. You are excused.
Giving release today, just come to court that day. Give us a call tomorrow. We'll give you some more information on how to do that. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Daniel?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Could you please tell me your name?
Julian Cano.
I've seen you at what's called your initial appearance. You've been arrested on new charges. It's alleged that you committed possession of a dangerous drug, theft, possession of drug paraphernalia, and then misconduct involving weapons, to wit that you are alleged to be somebody with a prior felony conviction that has, I'm sorry, just a second, I have that wrong. Oh, I see. Alleged that you possessed a firearm that was stolen. So in any event, sir, you're presumed innocent of all these charges, and you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the case could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I am appointing contract attorney Megan LaFata to represent you. I'm guessing that you may have already established a relationship with her, because it looks like you may have a pending case out of Superior Court that relates to charges involving theft of means of transportation and a couple other charges. So in order to prepare for this hearing today, I reviewed the information in the interim complaint, the information from pretrial services and the state's recommendation, which is that I hold you without bond pursuant to Article 2 of the Arizona Constitution, that says that if you're on release for one felony case, then you pick up another felony case while you're pending in that first one, then you can be held without bond for that. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Judge.
It's Costick.
Just ask that a no bond hearing be set, and Ms. LaFonta has already been made aware of the
Okay,
situation.
thank you very much for that. So we are going to set that no bond hearing, sir. And that no bond hearing is going to be on Tuesday, January 13th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And so that hearing is basically your ability to contest whether or not you ought to be held without bond, because we don't take that sort of thing lightly. You have a say in the matter, and your attorney does too. So that hearing's on Tuesday afternoon. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing that's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. And so, sir, if you do find yourself out of custody one way or another, it's ordered that you will be, actually, I'm just going to order for now that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, you possess no firearms or weapons, okay? But you have that no bond hearing. Be in contact with Ms. LaFata between now and Tuesday. I'm sure she'll be reaching out to you, and you can strategize for that, all right? And sir, if you do get out of custody, really important that you come back, because if you don't, a warrant will issue for your arrest, okay?
Okay.
All right, have a good day.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can wait.
Morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Please tell me your name.
Barbara Jean DeWitt.
All right, Mr. Witt. So this is your initial appearance. I am seeing you on charges that allege that you committed what is called unlawful, well, just here. Burglary in the second degree, excuse me. And so you, ma'am, are presumed innocent of that charge. Anything, and you have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say about it could be used against you. So you have the right to be represented by an attorney, and I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to assist you today. Ms. Costick's here to help you out for today's sake. And so in order to prepare for this hearing, I reviewed the information from pretrial services, the state's recommendation, which is released to pretrial, and then the information in the interim complaint. Mr. Poston, do you submit on that pretrial recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Costick.
Your Honor, we appreciate the state's willingness to allow Ms. DeWitt to be released.
All right, in light of that, it seems to make sense to me. So I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services. And so please comply with any monitoring or treatment that they ask you to comply with. I'm going to order, ma'am, that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you possess no firearms or weapons. And your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney and come back to any future court dates, ma'am, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, ma'am. You'll be out of the jail in a couple hours here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. Yes, it was. Yeah. You're welcome.
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Joshua Ecord.
All right, Mr. Ecord. So this is your initial appearance. You've been arrested on new charges that allege that you possessed a dangerous drug for sale, that you used an electronic communication during a drug transaction, then you possessed drug paraphernalia. Sir, you are presumed innocent of all of these charges. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about them could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender to represent you, sir. Ms. Costick is there to help out this morning. And in order to prepare for this hearing, I review the information from pretrial services, the information in the interim complaint, then the state's recommendation, which is a $20,000 bond, plus release to pretrial services in the event that you post that bond. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Costick?
Your Honor, I'd ask the court to consider release to pretrial services based on the fact that Mr. Ecord does have verified housing and work through his father, according to pretrial services, who also offered additional support to transportation. It does appear that he's on federal probation, so he would have additional supervision and means of compliance. I would ask the court to consider that his family history, there are three, but it is non-violent in nature and seems to be also associated with drugs. I think Mr. Ecord could probably benefit from some community supports as opposed to jail-based supports.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, Mr. Ecord, I'm going to hold you on a $10,000 cash secured bond. If you post that bond, depending on when you post that bond, if you post that bond, then you may be back out of custody. And if you are out of custody, sir, you are going to be supervised by pretrial services. So please submit to any monitoring or treatment that they ask you to submit to. I'm going to order that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. And important that you come back to court, sir, because if you don't come back to court, then a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good day. Your excuse.
Well, we have to do.
Okay, sister, I gotta pay the full now.
Nope, cash was occurred. So.
So it's $100.
1,000, 10%. Yeah.
Thank you. Elliot? Yeah, right there. Yeah, sure.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Derek Elliott.
All right. Mr. Elliott, this is your initial appearance, sir. You've been arrested on charges that allege that you possessed a dangerous drug, possessed a narcotic drug, and that you possessed drug paraphernalia. You, sir, are presumed innocent of all these charges. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Costick is seated to your left. She's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. For the purpose of the hearing, I did review the information in the interim complaint, the information from pretrial, and then the state's recommendation, which is an $1,100 bond for time credit with a steps court hearing being set. Ms. Costick, anything further? Or I'm sorry, Mr. Poston, anything further? Ms. Costick.
Oh, you're not giving me APO hold. I think a nominal bond would be appropriate.
All right, that's what I'll do. I am going to impose a, let's call it a $500 cash secured bond, given the hold. And, sir, even if I were to release you, you got a probation hold, so you're not going to be getting out. So, to that end, we're going to get you some time credit through this, bond that I just imposed. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing. Given the custody status, I'm not going to ask for a time waiver, but I am going to talk to you about the STEPS program in just a second here. And so, first things first, that preliminary hearing is going to be on the 20th at 1:30. And then, additionally, you might be eligible for a program that's called STEPS. So can you hear me okay?
You gonna throw up, Mr. Elliott? Is that what's no. Okay, he's pretty nauseous, Your Honor. We're just trying to get him on this basket. You can continue.
Gotcha. Okay. Just, yeah, I hope you feel better, sir. But it looks like you may be eligible for a program called STEPS. So what that is it's a program for folks that may have a potential substance abuse problem, where if you are eligible for the program and you comply with certain treatment requirements, then the case could be dismissed and you never get indicted. The case goes away. So it's a good thing all around from where I sit, but is that something that you're interested in learning a little bit more about, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. So we're going to set that STEPS hearing. It's going to be 1 week from today on January 15th at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so whether you'll probably be in custody, sir, but one way or another, if you are out of custody, you must come back to court for that hearing. That's going to be 1 week from today in front of Judge Miller on the 3rd floor at Superior Court. You'll learn more about the STEPS program at that time and decide whether or not it's something that you want to do. And so I've noted the APO hold, and I believe that that covers it, other than to let you know, sir, that if you find yourself out of custody for some reason, you got to come back to court, because if you don't, a warrant will issue for your arrest. Okay. Sir, I believe that covers it. I hope you feel better and have a good day.
Honor, do we have a PH date just in case stuff doesn't work out for him?
Yeah. So it's January 20th at 1:30. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. All right. Here you go, Mr. Elliott. You feel better. Okay. Take that with you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Welcome. You got it.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please tell me your name.
Hello, Garcia.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Aaron Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, sir, this is your initial appearance. You've been arrested on charges that allege that you committed possession of a narcotic drug, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of direct paraphernalia. I do have good news for you, sir, in the sense that the state, a review in its recommendation, is that it is willing to dismiss this matter without prejudice. Is that correct, Mr. Poston?
Yes.
Okay, so in light of that, the court is going to dismiss this matter without prejudice. And so, sir, this case is going away. It could be charged in the future. I doubt it based on the information that's on the state's recommendation, but it's possible. So just as an advisement, you do have the right to remain silent, and anything you say about this case could be used against you. You're going to be released from custody today's date, sir. So you should be out of the jail, probably in a couple hours, give or take. And then that should take care of it. So give me just a moment here. Got it. There we go. Okay. So yes, I am just now dismissing that case, sir. So this case is dismissed. You're going to be out of jail soon. And I wish you nothing but the best, sir. If you are interested in considering or pursuing possible assistance as it relates to a possible substance abuse problem, sir, I'd encourage you to stop by the transition center, which is outside the jail, because they're going to have more information on possible resources that could be something that could be helpful for you, sir. I don't know enough about you to say yes or no, but if it's something that you're interested in more information on, I'd encourage you to check that out. And you can't miss it once you get outside the jail, okay?
Okay, sir.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Focus.
Good morning, sir. Could you please tell me your name?
Santo Lopez.
All right, Mr. Lopez, so I am seeing you, and this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on a charge that alleges that you possessed a dangerous drug. You are presumed innocent of this charge. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the case can be used against you. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney, sir, and I'm going to appoint the Pima County legal defender to represent you. Ms. Costick's going to help you out for the purpose of this hearing. And in order to prepare for this hearing, I reviewed the information in the state's recommendation, which again indicates that they're dismissing this case without prejudice. Is that correct, Mr. Poston?
It is.
All right, thank you. And so in light of that, sir, some good news. I'm going to dismiss this case without prejudice. So I'm going to take care of that right now.
Judge,
Oh, go ahead.
Judge, just wanted to let you, I just wanted to ask that you not let him know that he's being released. There is a Department of Corrections.
Oh, I'm
memo
sorry
as a
about
result
that.
of This arrest. No, I just wanted to, before we go there and get very excited. Unfortunately, there is a DOC hold now.
Thank you, and I'm sorry to get your hopes up. You probably knew about the hold anyways, but in any event, I'm sorry if I slipped a bit there. In any event, this case is being dismissed, so that's good news for you, sir. So you're going to be released as to this matter only later today, and so you will have the DOC matter to navigate, but one less thing to worry about, I suppose. So that takes care of it, sir. So wish you luck in the future. Good luck with the DOC issue, okay? That's it. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, my hearing is trash. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Please tell me your name.
Ryan Umbrella.
Okay, just a second, sir. So I'm seeing you on a couple matters, Mr. Membrilla. So first of all, we got a matter out of Pima County, well, Justice Court. It's a new felony arrest. There's also a city court matter we're going to talk about shortly that relates to a petition to revoke probation matter. So let me start with the Superior Court matter, and then we'll move on to city court. So for everything we're talking about today, this is your initial appearance. You do have the right to remain silent as it relates to all of this stuff. And so you are presumed innocent of them, of the allegations. And so specifically, you've been charged with one count of what is called fraudulent schemes and artifice, and then another count of possession of narcotic drugs. And so in order to prepare for this hearing, sir, I've reviewed the information in the interim complaint, the information supplied by pretrial, and then the state's recommendation, which is a $5,000 bond plus release of pretrial in the event that that bond is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Judge.
All right, Ms. Costick.
Your Honor, I'd ask the court to consider that Mr. Membrilla has verified housing with his father and verified assistance to make it to court. He only has one felony criminal history noted on his pretrial services from 2011. And based on the various interim complaints as it relates to these three individuals, it looks like Mr. Membrilla is not the most culpable according to the interim complaints. So I'd ask the court to consider all of that.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the court is going to impose a $2,500 cash secured bond for Mr. Membrilla. If you post that bond, sir, you are going to be released with the supervision of pretrial services, assuming that you're out of custody by then, because the city court matter we're going to talk about may keep you in, it may not, but we'll talk about that. In addition to that pretrial services release, sir, you are going to be ordered not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs, and also not possess any firearms or weapons. And so that should take care of it as to that matter, other than to let you know that the preliminary hearing date on that, just a second. So okay, so yeah, preliminary hearing date 1:30 on January 20th. So please stay in contact with your attorney. It is the legal advocate. If I haven't said that yet, the legal advocate is going to be assisting you during the pendency of this case. Ms. Costick is helping you out today. And so that takes care of the felony matter. And so let's move on to the city court matter. And then on the petition to revoke probation matter, which is the matter out of city court, sir, that alleges that you violated the conditions of probation that relate to charges involving what appears to be possession of drug paraphernalia and criminal nuisance. Looks like there may have also been a failure to appear on a separate matter relating to theft by control. So, sir, as it relates to the petition to revoke probation and then the failure to appear on the other matter, you, sir, are presumed innocent of all of these matters. And so specifically the petition to revoke probation signed by the assistant prosecuting attorney alleges that on June 3rd of 2024, you were adjudicated guilty of criminal nuisance, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. And then in view of that, in the aftermath of that, you were alleged to have violated the terms of your probation. So I'm going to enter denials on your behalf, sir, as it relates to the allegations that are alleged in this petition to revoke. And we're going to set a hearing in front of a city court judge, and that's going to be on January 16th for a video review. And that's going to be in front of Judge Bond.
Okay.
And then just a second here. And on that, I'm going to impose a $500 cash secured bond. I'm going to appoint the city public defender to represent you. And cover it for that matter. As it relates to the other matter, the theft allegation, this is the time set for your arraignment on that matter as well. You, sir, are presumed innocent of that matter. You do need to come back to court on it, because if you don't come back to court on any of these matters, a warrant could issue for your arrest. And as it relates to the theft allegation, if you don't come back to court, you could be tried in your absence. And if you were tried in your absence and could not be sentenced within 90 days, then you could lose the ability to appeal that conviction. Do you understand, sir?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So that covers it all. Thank you very much. You are excused.
Thank you.
Montoya?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Larry Montoya.
All right, Mr. Montoya, this is your initial appearance.
Okay.
Seen you on charges that allege that you committed what is called aiming a laser at an occupied aircraft. 2 allegations of that. It's alleged to have happened yesterday. And so, sir, you are presumed innocent of all these charges. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you, because you do have the right to remain silent, and your failure to remain silent could be used against you. And so in order to prepare for this, well, let me back up. You do have the right to be represented by an attorney, sir. I'm going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Costick is there to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, I'll review the information from pretrial, the state's recommendation, and also the information in the interim complaint. Looks like the state's recommending a $3,500 bond plus release to pretrial if that's posted. Anything further, Mr. Postins?
Your Honor, state would just want to inform the court that this sort of thing could have caused an aircraft to crash. Laser pointers at altitude make it incredible. It can temporarily blind flight crews, and something like this put the flight crew in danger, and this could have caused a crash with injuries on the ground, as well as loss of the air crew and aircraft rather. So state believes it's an appropriate recommendation.
All right, thank you. Ms. Costick?
Your Honor, given that Mr. Montoya has very limited criminal history of felony in 2022 in which he succeeded on probation. It was designated a misdemeanor, that he has verified housing and time in Tucson and transportation to and from court via his wife. And I would ask the court to consider pretrial release at this time.
So I am going to impose that $3,500 cash secured bond. You, sir, are presumed innocent, but the allegations are sort of prevalent. So for that reason, that bond is being imposed. If you do post that bond, sir, you're ordered to not possess any firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. If you post that bond, you're also going to be supervised by pretrial services. So please submit to any monitoring or treatment that they ask you to submit to. I'm also ordering that you possess no laser pointers or laser emitting devices. So please be sure to not do that.
I am subject to from.
And additionally, sir, your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney. Please come back to court for future hearings, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand, sir?
Mr. Montoya just wanted the court to be aware in consideration or whether the court was willing to reconsider its determination. He's in remission from cancer, and he is very susceptible to sepsis. He has open lesions, and his health care could be put into significant risk if he remains in the jail.
Sure, I'll reduce the bond to $1,500, but I'm not going to just release you. So, I mean, that's the best that I can do. And Ms. Costa can tell you more about this, or she may have already done it, but your attorney can file a motion to have the bond reviewed in Superior Court. So, you know, if that's something that my decision today isn't chiseled into granite, is what I'm saying. So that may be able to be reviewed later, but for today's sake, I am going to do a $1,500 cash secured bond, sir. So I do wish you luck, though, and I hope that you don't have any health conditions that continue to cause problems. Have a good day. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Sabrina Pedroza.
Just a moment. All right, Ms. Petroza, this is your initial appearance. You have been arrested on charges that allege that you committed aggravated assault, and then it looks like a second count of aggravated assault, which are alleged to be, at least one of them is alleged to be an act of domestic violence. So you are presumed innocent of all these charges, and you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about them could be used against you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Kostick, seated to your left, she's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, I'll review the information in the interim complaint, the information from pretrial, and the state's recommendation, which is a $10,000 bond plus release to pretrial if that bond is posted. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Kostick.
Your Honor, I'd ask for release to pretrial services, given that Ms. Pedroza has no felony history and no DV misdemeanor history whatsoever. She's a 1 on the PSA. It does appear based on the interim complaint and the pretrial services workup that her housing is separate from the victim. So that's not an ongoing concern around housing. And there were no injuries alleged during this incident.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment, please. Okay, given the information that's before the court is going to impose a $5,000 cash secured bond. And so, and also if you post that bond, ma'am, you are going to be released to supervision and pretrial services. And certain other conditions are going to be imposed, specifically that you possess no firearms or weapons, you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, you submit to monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial services, you have no contact with the victims, and you do not go back to the incident location. And no contact means no contact. That's in the jail, out of the jail, no matter what. Are you willing to follow that, man?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's a $5,000 cash secured bond. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney at the public defender's office, and please come back to court. Because if you don't come back, if you're out of custody, please come back to court. Because if you don't come back to court, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay, you are excused.
Your Honor, I accidentally went one out of order. This is the rebus.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. So Mr. Olivas, could you please tell me your name?
Diego Olivas.
Diego
Jesus Olivas.
Sir, this is your initial appearance. You've been arrested on a charge that alleges you committed organized retail theft. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this case could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you, sir. Ms. Cossack's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. In order to prepare for this hearing, I review the information from pretrial, the information in the interim complaint, and the state's recommendation, which is that I hold you without bond pursuant to Article 2 of the Arizona Constitution, which says that if you're on release for one felony case, you get arrested on another one while that case is pending, then you can be held without bond. Anything further, Mr. Poston?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Costick.
Your Honor, I just asked for no bond hearing.
All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a no bond hearing, sir. It's going to be on Tuesday, January 13th, 1:30 in the afternoon. It's going to be in Superior Court. And at that hearing, sir, you'd have the ability to challenge whether or not you should be held without bond, from that point forward. And so additionally, sir, if you do find yourself out of custody one way or another, I am ordering that you consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, you possess no firearms or weapons. Not only are you ordered to not go back to the incident location, you are ordered to not go back to any Target store. Do you understand that, sir? I'm seeing a yes. You're nodding yes. Okay,
Yes.
so all right. In light of that, that covers it. The preliminary hearing is going to be on January 20th. If I haven't said that yet, January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. But before that, you'll have that no bond hearing, sir. So please stay in contact with your attorney. And one final thing, if you do get out of custody one way or another, you need to come back to court, because if you don't do that, sir, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Have a good day.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please tell me your name.
Victor Richards Cox.
Sir, this is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on charges that you possessed a dangerous drug, that you possessed a narcotic drug, and that you possessed drug paraphernalia. You're presumed innocent of all these charges. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these charges could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Cossack is there to help you out this morning. I've got the recommendation from pretrial services. I've also reviewed the interim complaint and the state's recommendation, which is a release to pretrial services, set a smart court here or steps hearing. Excuse me. Anything further, Mr. Poston?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Cossack.
Your Honor, we'd ask for that steps hearing and release to pretrial services.
All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So, and willing to waive time on the PH?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Richard Cox, a couple things. So, you, sir, appear to be eligible for a program called STEPS. It's a pretty good deal in the sense that it's for folks that may potentially benefit from some support as it relates to a possible substance abuse problem. And so if you're eligible for that program and you complete what the program requires of you, then the case will be dismissed. You don't get indicted, the whole thing goes away. It's a good deal and you get some support for a possible drug problem. So from where I sit, that's a pretty good deal. So for you to learn more about that, we're setting a smart court hearing. It's 1 week from today at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be in front of Judge Miller at Superior Court downtown. That's on the 3rd floor downtown. Please come back to that hearing 1 week from today at 9 o'clock, because if you don't come back, sir, you could lose the ability to participate in the program. And, you know, it's just, you know, you have a good opportunity here. So please be there next Thursday. The preliminary hearing date is going to be on February 23rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. And so you are going to be released to the supervision of pretrial services, sir. Please, court's ordering that you not consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, you possess no firearms or weapons, and submit to whatever treatment or monitoring that pretrial services asks you to do. So that takes care of it, sir, other than to advise you that you need to come back to court in the future, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest, sir. Okay?
All right.
All right, you're excused, sir. You'll be out of the jail in a little bit here later today. Good. Please tell me your name.
Valentino Schultz.
All right, Mr. Schultz, this is your initial appearance, sir. You've been arrested on charges that allege that you possess a narcotic drug, possess drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the case could be used against you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney. However, the state has indicated that they're going to dismiss this case without prejudice, so that's good news. So I'm not going to appoint anyone, and I'm going to dismiss this matter. I just want to confirm that the state is in fact going to dismiss the case. Is that correct, Mr. Poston?
It is correct.
All right, so good news, Mr. Schultz, this case is being dismissed. So you do have the right to remain silent. It's probably not coming back, but in any event, don't talk to anyone about it other than your attorney. And so you're going to be released from custody later today. And one thing I want to let you know of is that if you're interested in getting some possible support for a potential substance abuse problem, you have the way to do that once you get out of jail today. There's a treatment center. It's called the Transition Center that's kind of just around the corner there. And so from the jail, it's like on the same property. So if you're interested in getting more information about that, learning about medication-assisted treatment or anything else that could be helpful for you, feel free to stop on by there because they've got good options for you, sir, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. You are excused. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please tell me your name.
Deacon Sturdivant.
All right, Mr. Sturdivant, this is your initial appearance. You've been arrested on the one charge that alleges that you committed burglary in the 3rd degree. You are presumed innocent of that. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the charge or the case could be used against you. And so you have the right to be represented by an attorney. And specifically, I'm appointing the Pima County legal defender to represent you. Ms. Kostick's going to help you out today. She's seated next to you. In order to prepare for this hearing, I did review the state's recommendation of 2,500 plus pretrial, the interim complaint, and also pretrial's info. Mr. Poston, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kostick?
Your Honor, I asked for pretrial release for Mr. Sturdivant. He's 18 years old. He's a full-time student. His mother verified his housing address, his student status, and that she will provide ongoing support to him. He has no felony history and no juvenile history. And without making any admissions whatsoever on his behalf, just a review of the interim complaint, looks like this is just some bad decision making by some students. Don't shake your head.
Okay.
So
yeah,
I would ask the court to consider all of that, and given the nature of the offense is a 3rd degree burglary, non-residential, and ask for pretrial release.
makes sense to me. Mr. Sturdivant, the court is going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services, so please comply with any monitoring or treatment that they ask you to comply with. You are also going to be ordered to not possess any firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and your preliminary hearing is going to be on January 28th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney, and please be sure to come back to any future court dates, because if you don't do that, then a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, have a good day. Good morning.
Morning.
Please tell me.
David Villanueva.
All right, Mr. Villanueva, I'm seeing you on a few different matters. This is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on one charge that's alleged to have happened yesterday that relates to an allegation of committing fraudulent schemes or artifice. I'm also seeing you on a couple matters out of Pima County Justice Court. It alleged that you failed to appear in relation to at least one, if not two, DV allegations. And so you, sir, are presumed innocent of all of these charges. And what else? So you do have the right to be represented by an attorney, sir. I am going to appoint the Pima County Public Defender to represent you, sir. And so Ms. Kostick's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. And in order to prepare for this hearing, I did review the information supplied by pretrial services and the information for pretrial, and also the state's recommendation, which is apparently a $5,000 bond plus release to pretrial. And so, Mr. Poston, anything further on that?
No, Judge.
Ms. Kostick.
Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider that Mr. Villanueva does have verified housing and family support according to pretrial services. Mr. Villanueva does want to tell me something though, so if I could have just a moment to confer with him.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, so Mr. Villanueva also wants the court to know, aside from the verified housing that was reflected in the pretrial services report, that he does have full-time employment with Freeport McMoran as an electrician, and that his job means a lot to him, and that he would like to be released so that he can return to his work.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Villanueva, I'm going to impose a $5,000 bond that the state is requesting. However, the court does note that you appear to be on release. And again, please don't speak up to this, but you appear to be on release as it relates to a separate felony matter. But because the state's not asking for a no bond hold, I'm not going to impose that. And so it's a $5,000 cash secured bond, pretrial services if that bond is posted. I'm ordering that you possess no firearms or weapons, sir. You consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm ordering additionally that you do not go back to the casino. Do not return to what I believe was Casino del Sol. So do not go back to Del Sol. Sounds like it could be a problem spot for you.
Yes, absolutely.
So please don't go back there. And so just a second, and then you will conclude. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be on January 20th at 1:30 in the afternoon. And the public defender is going to represent you. I think I did say that. And so please come back to your future court date, sir. If you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. All right. You, sir, are excused. Actually, hold on. We got a couple misdemeanors that I missed. One moment, please. So you have a couple misdemeanors out of justice court, as I said, both of which relate to misdemeanor DV allegations. So I am going to, well, you want a nominal bond on that or release, Ms. Kostick? I'm willing to do whatever you tell me.
I'm released, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm going to release that, release you on both of these matters, but I'm seeing you on 2 warrants today. So that tells me that you may have an issue when it comes to coming to court So just be advised that if you don't come back to court on these hearings in the future, then a warrant will issue for your arrest. You'll probably find yourself back in the same cycle of getting arrested and so forth. Your next hearing is going to be on February 19th, 10 o'clock in the morning in front of Judge Steele, and that's at Pima County Justice Court. You're going to get information on that. And as it relates to that matter, I'm not sure who the alleged victim is of that DV matter, but I'm ordering that you have no contact with that alleged victim and that you commit no acts of domestic violence. And so that takes care of that one. And I'm going to do the exact same other thing on the other, but give me just a moment here. Interesting. So on the other matter, which alleges a failure to appear in relation to a DV DOC, well, I have a separate court date for you on that one, not to complicate things, but that's what I'm being asked to do. On the other matter, it's going to be on January 12th, so this coming Monday at 2:30 in the afternoon in front of Judge Steele at Pima County Justice Court. So you're going to get paperwork that has these court dates on it, so please just come back, make sure you do that. Again, I'm ordering that you have no contact with the alleged victims, you commit no further acts of domestic violence, and then you're going to be released on that matter as well, sir, okay? So that takes care of everything. I wish you well, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, Your Honor. Cody Willingham.
Well, this is your initial appearance, sir. And so I am seeing you on charges that allege you committed burglary in the second degree and criminal trespass in the first degree, both of which are alleged to have happened on October 22nd of 2025. So you, sir, as it relates to all this stuff, have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about these matters could be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. And I am appointing the Pima County Public Defender to represent you. Ms. Cossack is there this morning to help you out. In order to prepare for this hearing, I review the information in the pretrial and from pretrial services, the info in the interim complaint, and the state's recommendation, which is a $10,000 bond plus release to pretrial. Anything further, Mr. Poston?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Costa.
Your Honor, in setting release conditions, I'd ask the court to consider that Mr. Willingham does have verified housing and information by mom regarding his employment, and that Ms. Willingham is indigent, cannot afford a $10,000 bond, but he should have the right to at least something that he can afford.
Thank you. Sir, I am going to impose a $2,500 cash secured bond. And if you post that bond, sir, you are going to be released to supervision of pretrial services. So please comply with any monitoring, treatment, or anything that they ask you to do. I'm going to order that you possess no firearms or weapons, consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and then have no contact with the victim, which is Michael Astorga. And then just a second. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Have no contact with the alleged victim. Your next hearing is going to be a preliminary hearing. That's going to be on January 20th, 1:30 in the afternoon. Please stay in contact with your attorney. And if you post that bond, sir, you find yourself out of custody, you need to come back to court, because if you don't do that, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Okay, do you understand?
Cash or secured?
It's 2,500 cash and secured. So that means that you could put up 10% of that potentially. Yeah, that, you know, the drill. Ms. Cox can tell you more than I know for sure.
That's all right. Thank you, brother.
You got it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Getting all right.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Please tell me your name.
Daniel, right?
All right, Mr. Wright, this, sir, is your initial appearance. I'm seeing you on what's called a fugitive warrant matter. It alleges that you are a fugitive of justice out of the state of Virginia, I believe. Yes, out of Virginia, specifically Rockingham County or Rockingham Superior Court. So, sir, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about this matter could be used against you. You do have the right to remain to be represented by an attorney. And the attorney that I'm representing, that I'm appointed to represent you, is a legal defender. Ms. Kostick, seated to your left, she's going to help you out for the purpose of today's hearing. And the request that I've received from the state, and I've reviewed that in addition to the other materials, is that I hold you without bond pursuant to Article 13, ARS Section 133856, which says that if you are alleged to be a fugitive of justice on a post-conviction matter, then the law requires you to be held without bond. The question I have, Mr. Post, and I'll let you chime in a minute, is that I'm not sure. In fact, I tend to doubt that this is a post-conviction matter, both based on the information that I see in the NCIC printout. So, what am I missing?
One moment, Your Honor. I'm pulling up the exact verbiage of 3856 and also looking at the documents that were sent by pretrial. And in this matter, the Virginia items state that we're looking, one moment, please.
Sure.
It's not simply, one moment.
Take your time. You're good.
Your Honor, on second review, it's not entirely clear that this is post-conviction. So based on that, the state would ask for a $25,000 bond.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Kostick.
Yes, Your Honor. So I do agree that this is a pretrial failure to appear. It's a habeas warrant, which is a bench warrant on a failure to appear. That's what they call it back in the Commonwealth. Given that it's related to possession of dangerous drugs, I actually would ask this court to give Mr. Wright the opportunity to voluntarily submit to Virginia. I just spoke with him and he is willing to go back to Virginia to take care of this matter now that he is aware of it. So I'd ask the court to consider release and allow him to resolve this on his own. If the court's unwilling to do that, given the nature of the offense alleged, I would ask for nothing more than $1,000.
Your Honor, the state would point out to the court that this is manufacturer of controlled substance, not simply possession.
Thank you. And so I might have said that I reviewed it. It doesn't look like we have a pretrial services report on this matter. At least I've not seen it in the roster. It's been a long calendar though, so I might be missing it. In any event, the warrant information, while it doesn't supply a reason for Mr. Wright to be held without bond, it does indicate that he has multiple warrants alleging that he failed to appear from that same agency. And as Mr. Poston notes out, it does reflect that the underlying matter out of Virginia from the demanding state is relates to the manufacture of controlled substance. So for that reason, the court is going to impose a $15,000 cash secured bond. Mr. Wright, if you post that bond, then a couple things. Give me just a second here. If you post that bond, then you must come back to what is going to be your fugitive warrant review hearing. And that hearing is going to be on Tuesday at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's on Tuesday the 13th, 1:30 in the afternoon. And if you don't come back to that, sir, then a warrant will likely issue for your arrest. And if you, I'm also going to order that if you post that bond, sir, you are going to be released to the supervision of pretrial services. And if you do find yourself out of custody, the court is going to further order that you may return to the state of Virginia. You may live the state of Arizona only for the purposes of surrendering to or traveling to the state of Virginia to resolve the matter there. But frankly, Ms. Casa can give you better advice than I could, and I'm not in the business of giving advice. But you know, you probably want to wait to make any sort of drastic decision on heading out of state until you get past Tuesday's hearing, so you can speak with your attorney at the legal defender on that. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So again, please come back to court on the 13th if you're out of custody, and then we'll see you then. Okay. That is it, sir. You are excused. And Mr. Poston, thank you very much, sir. You are excused.
Good day, Your Honor.
You too.